And I want you to get interested. I want you to get interested in government programs. Those programs are for you. They are not for villagers. Sometimes we undermine these programs and say, they are for those girls who have not gone to school. Who told you? Our target is school, in and out of school. So get organized, be networks. Today in the morning I told you about networks. Those other countries are excelling because they are in networks. They used seem to know what they want. They are back to their roots. As long as we don't touch value to some of these programs, you will not benefit and you will not see the value of them. You shall continue attaching you to Action Aid. Action Aid has no children here. Action Aid is government action, let me tell you. They are here to supplement what government is supposed to do. Have you heard? So Action Aid has no group here. You get it? So UNFP has no group here. UNICEF has, you are all community people supported by government. So get back to your roots, build a youth network, good leadership, and listen. That excess energy, kindly go slow. Go slow. Listen to the leadership there, listen to the LC1, listen to your sub-county chief, to that small CDO. If you are above everything, you will not benefit. Humble yourself. You will reach, you will arrive. Me, that's my piece of advice.
Thank you so much. I, Manda David, stand strongly and forgive the DCDOs on behalf. We are not forgiving you, but showing a commitment under your guidance, Madam DCDO, we will go back, draw near you, cooperate, work closely, and together we will grow. Sawa. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have rested that debate. I have rested it. Please, the way forward, we've already made those ones. Just work together, mobilize each other, and visit these locations. Belonging to the village is also a way forward. Don't be urban-based. Okay. So, what do we do then? Okay. Young people, we appreciate your efforts. The use of captura, were you able to present your paper to the Minister of State for Culture and Gender? Can you clap for yourself? You are moving. Now you have another responsibility. After presenting your paper, you need to organize yourselves and follow that paper. Are you getting me? Follow it. When you follow it, the minister will act. I've told you the thing is two-way. Demand and the supply side will act. Okay, for fairness, one minute. If you want to speak only 1 minute, 3 people only. 1, 2, 3.
I'm very sorry for dominating, but what I want to say is we really appreciate our DCDOs. And we are always down when we are with these people. We are not always above. We really respect them. Because we still have a long way to go. Like for me, I haven't got a job, and I'm supposed to be in that office, this is CDO. I'm supposed to be a CDO as a county chief. And so for me always, I'm always down. When he sends me, I have to do what he tells me. I always respect him. And I do things from my sub-county. He knows me very well. But the issue of not allowing the youth, I don't know what was it. They had their own things, I don't know. So I want to say, the youth, we are always down. We respect your positions. Thank you so much.
Okay, to me, what I want to add on, I just want to advise the youth, because mostly the youth are based in towns, they play around, they don't have time for home. So what I want to advise you, go back to the villages, form groups and organize the group, register, and then you register with them, they will help you. And then another one is not only that person in the president's address is the only way to go. It is their role through the president to talk to you, the public. Thank you.
No, you are not counting.
Actually, thank you. Mine is just, okay. Yeah, it's a compliment. Mine is just to our DCDOs. Thank you very much. We apologize. Also, if we are wrong, please let us apologize. Mine is just a proverb. It's good to love the chief. And then, if the chief loves you, it's better. Please take it from me. Thank you.
Now I'm giving you all opportunity, please.
Yes. Thank you very much. Of course, I know a lot has been discussed, but of course, I also want to appreciate the DCDOs for the wonderful work they've been doing, despite their gaps. I know a lot must have not been achieved, but of course, though there are small gaps that they also need to rectify. Once they are, with the CDOs at the district level, once they are called for any activity, they always respond. If they are not there, they delegate. Meaning, of course, as young people, we have solutions to change. Sometimes we go fast. Once we react into something and there are small gaps, we want to react and find ourselves in that destination. So let's go slow and we shall get everything. But of course, the CDOs also, please, give us enough information. Once there are government programs like Yoga, we need to get the real details. So that time for recovering may not be issues. So sometimes they may tell us this is a presidential gift for the young people. Once we get the money from Yoga, at the end of the time, at the end of the day when you have to recover, it becomes issues. So sometimes give us the necessary information where necessary. Thank you very much.
Most of the information has been spoken. Yes, our dear youth, the programs are at the community level. And most of these programs, as my colleagues from the district have mentioned, are demand-driven. You do not force. Most especially, most of these programs have been attached. They have been attached with something that is recovery. So you will not force a community to take money that will not pay back. You will not just go and form groups from the youth if you are not sure they will pay or no. And then too, these resources are inadequate. And anything that is scarce, many people will run for it. So if you are not able to run faster to get the scarce materials, you will always miss out. 3, we have structures at the district, at the local grassroots, and we have the youth structures. So I'm urging the youth, the president, the government of Uganda, listen so much to the youth. Why don't you, through these structures, reach up the government at the national level for increased funding, such that we are able to meet more of the youth than we are meeting them?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to appreciate the youth and the DCDOs and CDOs around. I must say the Bible says, children, obey your parents. Not so. And then the Bible says still, parents, learn to give good gifts to your children. I know we are all your children. We are the youth. We are your children. We are not demanding in a harsh way, but we are just requesting. This is my request. An advice to our DCDOs here. I'm worried. The DCDO of Bukwa is not around. I don't know how you get the information. But I don't know, I appreciate the presentation yesterday from Karamoja, the DCDO from Karamoja. She said they'll be doing district visits. Not so. So I was really advising, why don't you have a joint link? Why don't you work together as DCDOs? You also help ours. Maybe he has a weakness somewhere around. Talk to him. And now that he's not here, maybe reach this information out to him. Maybe we'll hear from you as colleagues. Please.
Yes.
I just want to make one comment to the youth. We just came from election last year, and most of the youth you have elected your leaders. Honorable Priscilla is a councillor for the youth. I also think that the municipal have elected their own youth leader. It is not everyone's work to go and lobby for these things. You elected your leaders. Send them, give them this work to go and lobby for you, in order for you to benefit. That is what I have for you.
Hold them accountable to deliver the promises they made.
Thank you so much. For me, I have nothing much to say, but I want to tell my sisters and my brothers, that's the youth, that when you're cooking food, don't expect it to get ready there and then, okay? So you need to take time. I remember, I think they have that pressure that I have it as an experience in Nakapipri. That's what happened to us also, the youth. There was a group of the youth that came. They made groups. These are the people who were given money within 1 month. When they tried to supervise them, money was done. They wanted to be that. They wanted to be the supervisor. So it is not good. Now to you or to us the youth, like for example, as the youth of FGM, like who are struggling to end FGM, can't we create our own groups deep in the villages as we communicate the end of FGM, as we create, that one gives us the idea of creating groups with the village people. Now if we stay in town, I promise you they can never give us money, and that is what they always do. They can't give the youth, not unless we go as we sensitize those people in the villages. There they can get that courage, like, oh, you know what, these people are doing this, like for us now, the leaders of what FGM who need to end it. They can give us, because we are going to do dramas, like getting t-shirts, something like that. They can give us money there and then. Thank you so much.
Yes, when you are in the municipality, please go to the municipality. The municipality has sub-counties called divisions. Are you getting me? Go to those sub-counties and engage those structures. Then those who are in the districts, engage the sub-counties. And planning starts from the village. Now when they call you for meetings and you are wisecking with your WhatsApp, you will miss the opportunity. And then let's build the relationships. And let's have a heart of forgiveness. Please don't harbor anger for so long. You may again refuse to visit that person, and yet the person has changed. Are you getting me? We are all human, and we make mistakes. Are you getting me? No matter how much you try, even us men, to susu a distance, there will always be a drop that touches the trousers. So all those mistakes are there.
Okay. Very interesting. Now, youth, I want to speak on a point of experience. I think in around 1990, I was a youth. I was around 20 years old. And that is when NGO work started in this country. You know what I did? One, there were elders like us today. And what I did, I would sit behind them. What I want to advise you today, youth, what you need most is to have a big ear. The other thing that you need today is to have a big eye, have a big mind, if you want to achieve. I know when you are from the university, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of knowledge. You want this morale, and you feel the morale is a little bit dead. But look, what I did, I sat under the elders. I started looking for information. Every time I would go, I would sit, get information. I learned from them. I used to learn from them. How are things done? How are people speaking in public? What is needed? How is the government organizing things? How is NGO working? I did that, I think, for over 30 years. But today I'm sitting here as an elder. The future belongs to the organized. What I need from you, you get organized. Are you seeing Gloria? Gloria is not in Senegal because of today's work. Gloria is one of the activists in Action Aid who got organized, positioned herself well, did what was required. That is why out of all, they said she deserves to go. But if you are wapi, you will not get. You remember how one of our youth, people from Sebei, one of our youth got in money and went hiding in Kampala. Am I lying? He came back, I think, after a year. What happened? I remember a youth in Capture Sombe gotten the money. And when they followed him up, he said, where did the money go? He said, I used part of the money to reward myself. Rubbish. How do you reward yourself? This is taxpayers' money. So youth, can you be smart? Be smart. When you see gaps, learn from the gaps. Problems are lessons. Sometimes there is a way government wants things to be done. These CDOs, they are not bringing their money. The money is not from their homes. This is government program. And this money comes with strings. There is a way things should be done. So I have already learned from some organized youth. I remember this Go Green. Do we have Go Green in the house? Yes. I was called. And I networked the minister. I told the minister, please, there is a group. And the minister was telling me, what do we do? Do I give them trees? I told the Go Green, get those trees. And then we were organizing a very big forum. We wanted the minister to put them somewhere in Kampala and get a funding. And if you will not network, if you will not be smart, if you will be seen as a youth forum, all the time trying to step on people, who will want you in those offices? I'm whispering. Kalijo, Mawule, Kishasikia, Mategereza. Be smart. If there is a gap, call these leaders, talk to them. What is happening? Yes, sometimes some things are beyond their offices. When a Myoga man came, I was meeting the leader of the Myoga. I was asking, where's the money? I discovered things were even above his hand. Sometimes you can look at the CPOs and you think they are everything. There are people above them. Things begin from top, coming bottom. So I am advising you, create a big ear, create a big eye. Sometimes the turnover takes time. And you know, did you choose yourself to be here? Who planted the mind that we need a round table for youth globally? Society will demand. When society demanded that, I think there's a gap, we need now to bring youth slowly. Come slow. Come slow. And you will not even realize when you took over. Today I'm speaking here, am I still a youth? So let's turn this strength into useful strength. And let's go slow. By 1920, by 1990 I was young, but today I'm a grandmother. So youth, my advice is use this principle, discipline plus hard work is equals to success. If you want to succeed in this life, be a good listener. God bless you.
You see, wisdom comes as age advances. Yes, as young people, don't run the speed of a jet. You may crash and destroy many. Let's back our arguments with facts. That's part of evidence collection. Are you getting me? Back your argument with facts. It could be photography. It could be many witnesses. Are you getting me? All that is acceptable. Let's not, they said, don't look at the jigger in your friend's leg before you see the one on your leg. The work we do, if we work together, we improve together. So as young people, everything starts from volunteering. Are you getting me? You may be a volunteer here, but you could be better than somebody who is working for a 50,000 job every month. For you, you can make 300,000 in 2 days. But a man earning 50,000 makes it in 30 days. But he is committed. He knows that that 50,000 over time will do something if he keeps saving it. So we request you, young people, don't blow away your opportunities, but hold your opportunities. It doesn't mean if you demanded politely, you are a wrong person. They will not hear you. They will hear you. Deals are now hammered through negotiation and renegotiation. I want to ask the youth, have you ever fallen in love? Do you force love? You negotiate it and you grow it. So we need also to build relationships with CDOs and DCDOs at the district. And they will be telling you the secret. Don't have that forced love. Let's build relationships. Because other youths are benefiting, but probably you are not what? Benefiting. And where the love is risky, don't fall inside there. Because, are we clear? All of us have our opportunities that will come at the right time. What we need is to exercise patience, exercise discipline, and you must be determined. Even to live, you must be determined. If I decided today and said I want to die, I can die. I can neglect myself, refuse to eat, refuse to bathe. Madness comes in, within the shortest time I'm dead. Or commit suicide. You must live on a hope that life will keep improving. Today the power rests on your ability to negotiate and not your ability to make noise. Ability to negotiate and be civil. We need to be civilized people. We don't want to see young people throwing bottles at people, throwing stones at people. We need to see young people working hard. And hard work definitely rewards. Who thinks prostitution is cheap? It's the hardest. You have to open your legs wide for 1,000 men. But the money doesn't come cheap. You will see a big one, a small one, a long one, a short one. It is painful. Even sex is not pleasurable. It requires energy. And yet it is the sweetest for those who know it. PG, please, for those who are not yet 18, we guide you, move slowly until the Constitution permits you. After 18, you have the freedom. Don't eat those things prematurely. They are costly. Yeah. Okay? Even food in the mouth. Actually, somebody was asking me, why do children often fall sick? Because they are not feeding. Even to eat food, you need energy to grind the food. Am I lying, Master? If the jaws are not okay, they will not crush the meat. So everything requires energy, requires wisdom, requires active participation, requires restraint. Where you see your life is at risk, activism is very good. But activism that destroys life is not good activism. Mark this word, you are useful alive, and when you die you become fossil fuel. So we should be alive, and we should have the energy to stand alive. Who is very annoyed? I see everybody smiling nicely. Okay. We shouldn't get annoyed. We are getting new knowledge, new skills, new opportunities. We need to make our demands. The next session that is coming will be a presentation on the phase 4 of the joint program, and we want to see you young people proposing strategies that work. Propose strategies that what? Work. And here we shall be moving. And you'll be smiling. People will be referring others. If you want this, look for so and so. That person does work very, very well. Is that okay? And to argue is not bad. Argue with facts. Yesterday I loved the argument by the Minister of Health. She said we've been speaking about girl child empowerment. Now we have left the boys behind. They are the ones taking drugs and injecting our girls with pregnancy. They rape them wherever they get them because they don't have the power of reason. You see? But I'm also asking our girls, be in the right spaces at the right time. And don't move alone. Don't move what? Alone. I am getting shocked in today's monitor. An old man who is a Ugandan defiled his own 14-year-old daughter. So even our parents are becoming a risk. I'm also requesting the men, don't over-admire your daughters. Those are your children, honestly speaking. And when they reach 14 years, create a relationship based on mutual respect. There are parents who want to hug their daughters, and when they hug them zero distance. They forget that their daughters are also human beings. Even sons are human beings. Sometimes the power of madness can overtake you, and you only discover when wrong things have happened. Of course. If a person is drunk, what reason can she or she give? He will do it. So we also want, you see, as you act, know about the self, that you are very important. So always be yourself. And the government of Uganda has given us the space. We can talk, we can criticize even His Excellency, but sometimes it doesn't come to beat us. It means we are in the right country. But we need also to criticize positively. If I criticized you and said, okay, Joanne, thank you very much for the good work, but if you had done it this way, it would have been perfect. That one is a good critique. But not a critique where you want to break somebody and kill that person. Please. And you know now government is very tough. If you over-criticize the DCDOs, you risk also their jobs, and you risk their families. Please, let's know that we are also human. Put yourself on the shoes of a person. That all of you now criticize your Bazé. These people are thinking the old way. Masco, you are a graduate. You have finished school. Your mother remains your mother. Your father remains your father. As long as you are their child. Even me, who is now coming above 40, My mother calls me and says, I've not been seeing you for quite some time. What is the problem? Then I know there is love in that parent. And I should do the same and say, good morning, Mama. Did you sleep well? Are you okay? She may say, oh, we didn't have sugar. As a responsible child, you send some money. You don't need now to say, okay, I'll bring the sugar, but the mobile money is there. Let the sugar hit inside the phone, and she will go to a mobile agent. So let's respect authority. It's not that you're a graduate, you move the whole night. You are not a wolf to move the whole night. You are a human being. And there is nothing parents enjoy to see also us old like them. Are you getting me? To see us old like them. So I know we are about to go to the session. As usual, I know they are arranging. It's already past 11:30. It's 12 actually. And we started yesterday around same time. So let us be patient. Probably we can raise up. No? It is now past 8:30. Yeah. The 8:30 is 11:30 of Uganda. So who wants to give us a good energizer? Today is about participation. DJ, they are saying they want a good energizer. Okay, can we all raise up? We have an energizer. Let's raise up. Get out of the comfort of your seats. Have you seen they were saying you need to go back to your village? Eh? The village has very good things. Who can tell me what good things are in the village? Fresh food, wild fruits. Yes. So we are going to imagine we are in the village. And you are a height defaulter. And you have seen good fruits in a tree. How do you pick them? Okay, get ready. Get ready. We are going to pick a mango at this side. Can we try to pick? Pick! Pick 3 times! Pick again! Pick! Let's try again this side. Pick! 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 When they are falling down, what do you do? After collecting, you put some in the pocket. Carry some here. Okay. Yeah, you know, to be in the village is very nice. You may not manage to climb the tree. Oh, but if you are very short, you can't jump. You can also stone. Let's stone some mangoes. Stone. 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 Go back and have energy. Stone with energy. Stone again. Okay, let's sit. I think they are setting up. We are about to be there. So let us pay attention. It is after this presentation is when we shall go into our small rooms, and our rooms shall be based on our context and districts. Thank you. Welcome to the session. It's going to begin.
There's a team that's going to come on today to do your test, but they will need all of your flight information and passport details beforehand. Everyone that needed a visa will already have your passport, but for participants from ECOWAS countries who did not need a visa, I don't have your passport. So please share with me and Elisa, and please share. aim to have it by lunch today. So we're counting on your support. So please send us your passport and your ticket details so we can facilitate your COVID test. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw the message from Agnes requesting to have this recap 5 minutes this morning. I don't know if the colleagues are in the room now. No? So they are the next to dance and to sing. So let's start now the session of the day. Okay, if you have the agenda with you, you can see that we have planned to start by the presentation of what came out from the colleagues of the program. But discussing with you yesterday and taking into account what you said, we start by a kind of brainstorming for you to say, for the next phase, as young people, as having our vision, our mission, what would we like to see? What we can propose to the program staff before we come and present what has been planned, what has been discussed, so you can, let me say, have your words in what's coming as a program. It's not about 5 years, it's about something to go until 2030. So it's important that your vision, your strength, what you can do is seen, integrated, mainstreamed in this program. So we're going to start by this brainstorming, and we can have a round of discussion, of comments, and after this, you're going to have a breakdown sessions to discuss more, to decide what you want to do, and after, at the plenary, we'll put together what is planned in the work plan and what you propose. This is how we go today.
Is it okay with you? This is your meeting. This is something you are repeating since yesterday. So it's up to you to decide. This is fine, this is not fine. This is how we want to go. This is what we want to do. Okay? If you are not okay, you can say it and we'll continue as we plan. Is it okay? Okay, yes. So, colleagues, I will maybe leave the floor to our colleague from Somalia to start. And when you are a bit tired and you try to sleep, Rashid will come. Okay?
Thank you. Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Anisa Mahmoud from Somalia. I think most of you know Somalia and the rate of the FGM in Somalia. If you pick the hand, if you know the privilege rate of Somalia in FGM, who is know? I think you all of you know it, but it's not aware. Do you know Somali women 15 up to 20 up to 49 age of the Somali women subjected? Its rate is 99%. You aware that? No. It's very lucky to know, to aware this such section today. As democratic surveys conducted to the UNFPA and Somali government last 2019 says 99% of Somali women aged 15 up to 49 have undergone female genital mutilation. I think that rate is in the world. reached that rate in Somalia. Also, 64% of the women has undergone for the pharaonic tape. That tape is most severe form in the world. I think you are aware, now you are aware, the Somali women suffer a lot of the challenge under FGM. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for this information in Somalia. We got the information yesterday. So now you're going to lead your colleagues on what they see, and continue to discuss later. Is that okay? Fine with you?
I need to introduction what the most safer country for that. Thank you. Now we need to be one step, one forward. To need everyone for us to give his idea about what our section is. That?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And what I propose, let's have a round. So you start here and we see if here we have something to say, to comment, and we go, and it will take about maybe 15 minutes, and we break to go to the working groups.
Everyone have a microphone, but yes. you start your.
You can use the mic in front of you if you want to speak.
Have everyone want to speak? Okay, thank you.
Bonjour et merci pour la présentation. Ma question principale, est-ce qu'il y a des codes spécifiques en Somalie qui condamnent les MGF? Les codes spécifiques en Somalie qui condamnent les MGF en fait.
Translated, please, can you repeat?
Les codes spécifiques qui condamnent les MGF. Les textes de loi en fait.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. There's no a law or a code, but as Somali civil society and the government, we started to approve the bill, FGM bill. We are on the process of the FGM bill. FGM bill in Somalia started to the 2016 up to before 2011, but at that time, some like Somalia, it is have FGM is taken as a religious obligation, and that community takes it as it's religious. It's difficult for us to take immediately to the to prove the everything. That's why we are on the process of the FGM to be eliminated, and the Somali government and other civil societies and youth and everything on the process of that way. Now it is under the Somalia has 3 states: Somaliland, Puntland, and South Central. In Puntland, they approved the cabinet. The bill, it's under the parliament, and the other state it is already under the process. I think I can understand. You can understand.
Once again, yeah, I believe it's good for you to have question, to ask the question, and to have the response. But this is not the session for. This is the session for, brainstorming. What do you propose for the next phase? And as young people, what should be the most important thing you think must be done in this agenda, in this program? This is the issue. Yeah, so let's have a round. Let's start here and then we come here and then, yes, Mireille?
Yeah, thank you so much, Idrissa. But maybe what will work, it's maybe to brief, the audience a little bit about the next phase and kind of set the tone for having more meaningful conversations and then kind of frame the questions as well. Maybe if I can propose that. So once they have a little bit of the bigger picture, it will help, the level of engagement. But maybe going through a recap of yesterday, Jeremy, maybe if we can do that prior to diving into this session, what would you?
Yeah, this was the agenda, but those for the recap were not in the room.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Maybe I was acting
here they are now. Okay, so we can have the recap and we'll discuss later. And what we agreed yesterday, Mireille, and you were one of the colleagues proposing this, so we do present something from our side first, but we put the young people first, they discuss first, they come up with proposal, and after we discuss together.
You can start.
For the report, the recap.
Yeah.
So we can go sit
Thank you, everyone. So I'm from the joint program team. So I'll be giving a quick recap of what happened yesterday. First of all, thank you everyone for being here. It was a great session yesterday. I think the energy was just touching the roof, and it was really nice to see people from diverse backgrounds and different countries speaking on these issues and bringing to fore some critical issues and challenges. So I'll just be giving a quick recap. So we set the tone for today and see how we move forward from here. So yesterday, basically, we had the regional director of UNFPA Wakaro open up about how the issue is prevalent. The FGM is prevalent in different countries. The need for the youth to take these initiatives from the front and make sure that the various recommendations are implemented at the ground level. It's exactly for that purpose that we have organized this consortium, so that we can have a vision to end FGM by 2030. That was followed by the Ministry of Women, Family, Gender and Child Protection, who spoke about the need for inclusion and diversity, the national strategy for elimination of FGM in Senegal, the voice of the young peers who need to carry this mantle forward and make sure that this practice is eliminated. Then we had a presentation by Thierno and Melton, basically outlining the various achievements of the joint programs, UNICEF and UNFPA's phase 1 to phase 3. So in phase 1 to phase 3, the program was spread across different countries, around 17 countries, and there were several issues that were dealt with in terms of national strategy, legislations, policies. So there were several interventions were done from phase 1 to phase 3, and now we have come to the phase 4, and that's what our next goal is up till 2030, to make sure that FGM is eliminated by 2030, and with the support of the youth, that is the dream we would like to achieve. There were extremely important questions asked about funding, about interventions, challenges on the ground. COVID-19, that was an important issue again, which was discussed, which has brought several challenges to the fore. So I think those were some of the questions and problems discussed. Then we had country-wise presentations. We had by Kenya and the efforts that they have been taking, the Youth Anti-FGM Network in Kenya, the strategic dialogue, the presidential commitment to end FGM. So there were a lot of initiatives that they have taken. and it was really nice to hear. We had one by Senegal and the young girls clubs that were set up back in 2014, and how they have carried out mobilization and community engagements in different parts to make sure that the message is spread loud and clear in different regions. We also had some very interesting presentations by the team from Yemen. They spoke about the challenges on the ground, the conflict that is going on in the region, and how that sort of is a detrimental to the various efforts taken to end FGM. And there is a need to mobilize the crowd there and make sure that the message goes to the masses, use media platforms, engage religious leaders and youth to carry this message forward. We had the presentation by the Egypt and their initiatives, the theater performances, the peer educators and universities that they have been engaging with. Then we had presentation by Indonesia also that was, we are trying to expand, and that's why one of the goals of the phase 4 is to go beyond and go to different continents. It was really nice to have presentation by Indonesia, the issues that is going on there, the grassroots mobilizations programs, and then we had a presentation from the Latin American country, from Colombia, and how they have noticed this FGM in 2007 and efforts that they have been taking to ensure that the practice is reduced. Apart from that, we had, of course, presentations by Salima Initiative and how they have been amplifying the voices of FGM survivors and holding governments accountable for their actions. We also have UNFP FGM Hack Lab and how they have been submitting innovative ideas to tackle the issue, increasing the skills and capacity of the girls, preventing cross-border FGM, which is also another issue that we are seeing. I'm sorry if I've left out some, but this is broadly, I don't want to take much more time, but this is broadly the issues that we discussed yesterday. I think today the main focus would be on the next phase, phase 4, to see what challenges that exist and actually coming up with some core recommendations that would ensure that the practice is in effect completely abolished by 2030. And I think with the effort of all people who get different experiences from different countries, I think such an objective is not very far. So we can certainly work together and make sure that we get the best results possible. Thank you, everyone. I think I had a wonderful time speaking to everybody here. Great ideas and energy. Thank you, one and all.
Merci beaucoup à notre rapporteur du jour. Alors, vous avez sûrement remarqué un changement dans le chronogramme. Alors, l'idée était que c'est une table ronde de la jeunesse. L'idée que les jeunes puissent eux-mêmes les défis et les perspectives de la phase 4. Donc, c'est pourquoi on va commencer avec les travaux de groupe. Mais bien avant, peut-être on va prendre 2 ou 3 questions ou bien 2 ou 3 personnes qui veulent dire quelque chose par rapport à la présentation.
Recording in progress.
All right. Est-ce qu'il y a des ajouts par rapport au rapport qui vient de nous être présenté? Alors, s'il n'y a pas des ajouts, je vais appeler l'ambassadrice Salima pour qu'elle puisse introduire déjà les travaux de groupe, si elle est là. Salima? Salima est là?
Non, en fait, c'est pas ça. Si je m'excuse d'intervenir. En fait, give me the mic.
We can hear her. We can hear her. She doesn't need to move. We could absolutely hear her. Can somebody tell her that we could hear her from where she was?
The translator says you can hear for you if you are sitting.
Good morning, everyone. Let me briefly explain before we dive into the meat of the conversation. So as we previously, discussed and shared the achievement of the Global Joint Program, now we are transitioning to a new phase, which is now our phase 4. We used to call it post phase 3, phase 4. So we had 3 previous phases. which are amazing, with amazing track record, achievement, and the impact on the country level implementing partners is there. But yet, we are now a little bit faced with a lot of challenges because we are from these new phases, phase 3, phase 4, we are to deliver the promise of ending FGM by 2030. And this is a task, this is a mandate that it's impossible for us as a joint program alone, institution, UNFPA, UNICEF, at the global level, regional level, country level. It's impossible, and we need your help. And we need you guys to play a catalytic role in driving the next agenda. So for us, we thought it wouldn't be fair for us to present to you the phase 4 of what we worked on, but we wanted to create a space for you guys to also discuss with us and share with us ideas and how it means for you ending FGM, how 2030 will look like with you guys driving the agenda, implementing some of the programs, what type of programs you guys will want to see. You guys are strong, opinionated leaders. You guys are, masters of disrupting system. There are system in place that kind of allows the practice to go on because of our social norms and gender norms. How can you guys do better? How do you envision of disrupting those systems? So that's why we want to hear from you. We want you guys to be in the driver's seat. We have a roadmap, but that doesn't mean that the roadmap that we're proposing, that's what you guys want. So we want to hear what you guys are proposing. So later on, we will present about this phase, and now we start making amend. So today's day, it's all about working. It's all about picking your brain, daring, really bringing thought-provoking questions, even challenging questions to us, because we want to challenge you. Yesterday, we heard complaint of some of you saying, about, sharing the challenges that you guys face. Some we heard we don't have any funding, or you guys only, knock at our doors when you need to pick our brain, but, we've been you guys use us as a tokenism, but we're never there. The decision table. So this is a table for you guys. That's why we call it table ronde. What next? What are we proposing? So this is a brief. So the ball is in your court. Thank you.
Yes, is it a question or?
Sorry, I think it's really good to, start rather than referring what the UNFPA team is really planning to engage in the next phase. But we need to have a structure, a kind of a preliminary structure that's going to be discussed among ourselves, rather than, talking a lot of issues, but to make skeleton or structure so that our discussion will be fruitful, like what is it, a policy issue, is it a program issue, or prevention, protection, provision, or we need to, from the facilitator or from the organizer of this meeting, it would have been good if something has been suggested as a way of discussion. That's really important, but I totally agree with from her, we shouldn't refer first the UNFPA team. That our input, the purpose of our input is just to give them input. So yeah, we need to have some kind of schedule.
Thank you. Just one thing, please. I believe we are saying the same thing. We're on the same line. In fact, we have started by asking you to provide your comments, what your vision, but it is a bit slow. And for the sake of time, this is the reason why we discuss together and we say, okay, maybe in the small groups, you will take more time to discuss. And when you come, we try to discuss what you are going to present as your vision, your willing. Later, after the presentation from the program team on what they have already planned, we mix the discussion and we put everything together. This is the reason why we ask it, exactly as you said, what can be the main line to take into account in the working groups and to discuss along those lines. And this is, it's not different. What Mireille has said, what we are saying, it's exactly the same thing. Now the process is not exactly the same, but the content is exactly the same. So it's, yes.
Please allow me. I think if I had come with a roadmap, that's what I said, that you guys need to target policy, talk about women and girls and all, we would have had backlashes because it goes back again that it's us handing something to the youth. What we are asking you guys to come up with your own, subject that you want to discuss, see for the next phase. We don't want to impose. So if you guys want to tackle policies, create a policy. You guys want to tackle education, create that. If you guys want to speak about innovation, create that. We want you guys to be what do you want, because what we are doing as institutions, it's never enough for you. So now we are creating platform for you guys to tell us what do you want.
Let me hear 1 and 2, and after we try, please let us try to continue, because we don't have so much time.
Oh, I was raising my hand because of what the guy said. It's okay if we come out with our own. So she just answered what I said.
Okay,
So
that's fine. So maybe the last one, and after we.
Voilà, moi je disais que après des années d'action, nous sommes sur le chemin en train d'avancer. Il serait bien qu'on puisse avoir les défis. Parce que quand vous parlez, c'est comme si vous nous dites, nous sommes sur le chemin, arrêtez-vous et réfléchissez encore. L'idée pour nous, c'est de pouvoir continuer, voir ce qu'on a déjà fait. Ce qui est bon, on le met à côté parce que c'est des acquis. Ce qui reste à combler, qu'on nous montre ça et qu'on puisse voir quelle sera la contribution qu'on peut mettre, quelles sont les idées, les actions qu'on peut mettre pour mettre fin à l'excision d'ici 2030. Si vous nous laissez comme ça, peut-être on peut réfléchir et refaire les mêmes choses. Est-ce que c'est innovant? Est-ce que ça répond aux besoins? Est-ce que ça répond aux défis? Mais si on a déjà les défis, les gaps où ça ne passe pas, ça ne marche pas, qu'on puisse avoir, nous, en tête que voilà là où vraiment on doit accentuer nos actions, voilà où on doit vraiment envoyer de nouvelles idées pour pouvoir vraiment avancer. Parce que 2030, c'est dans quelques mois, c'est dans quelques jours. Et on n'a plus le temps de repartir encore en arrière pour refaire les mêmes choses. On a besoin d'idées innovantes, on a besoin de nouvelles actions fraîches qui vont nous permettre de dire d'ici 2030, les jeunes ont apporté telle chose, les jeunes ont fait telle chose.
Oui, Cécile, et après cela, je pense qu'il nous faut faire une synthèse pour avancer.
Merci. Moi, j'ai l'impression que ça démarre encore très lentement ce matin, comme on l'avait remarqué hier matin. Ce que je ressens ici, on vous donne une chaise, asseyez-vous dessus, vous dites non, 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 je vais m'asseoir par terre. Pendant longtemps, on vous a considéré comme des bénéficiaires de programmes. Aujourd'hui, on veut changer ça, on vous met au devant de la scène, on vous dit, dites-nous à quoi vous rêvez, à quoi vous pensez, qu'est-ce que vous pensez pouvoir être le futur pour le programme FGM? Quelle est votre contribution? Et vous êtes là à chercher des cadres. Non, c'est une session de brainstorming, foire aux idées. Jetez-nous tous ceux qui vous passent par la tête. On aimerait vous entendre. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Tata. Il était question de mettre les jeunes autour de la table. Il était question de faire un pas, de ne jamais faire un pas sur les jeunes. Il était question de mettre les jeunes en avant. Aujourd'hui, nous avons cette chance. On nous donne la parole. On nous met autour de la table. Donc, je crois qu'on ne va pas rentrer dans les débats. On doit prendre le micro et s'exprimer. L'opportunité est là. Il est temps que nous parlons. Et merci beaucoup à la Tata qui disait que on nous donne une chaise, mais on veut être en bas. Nous, on veut être sous la chaise et autour de la table. Donc, merci beaucoup. Je crois qu'on va passer directement aux travaux de groupe pour que les jeunes puissent s'exprimer.
Unless you have burning issues, yes, at the end of the table.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Mariam from Yemen. Yesterday I said and I cleared the situation in Yemen between war and conflicts, and the situation here is different from other countries. Because of this, because of the war we have, there is no such interest in FGM. And whenever you will speak about FGM, you are speaking about something luxurious somehow, and it's generally a taboo. So when you speak about a human right like this in that situation where basic needs are not available, you are accusing something here. So there is no enough fund to do any programs on the ground to have an actual impact for the FGM, and we need some real support to start doing something real on ground to touch and have the change to start doing any kind of programs that will in the future, in the soon future, as the vision here we are sitting together to be started as soon as possible. So we are in an urgent situation to start doing something, and we really need some support in this situation. As I declared yesterday, we have a high-rated situation of FGM in most of the cities of 93%. So if we don't do anything in the next phase, the number will be continued as the same. So this is urgent. And thanks.
Thank you. The question is the following: what do you propose?
Okay. First of all, we will take as if there is any programs that will be applicable to the situation in my country from the other countries, and it is we can do it in Yemen, and if we have enough fund, we will start doing something real on ground.
Okay, thank you. Once again, the idea is we can have a quick round. If you have some questions, some comments, some propositions, we take into account, and then later you deepen them in the groups. Yes, please.
Okay, so when it comes to development, there's always an issue with sustainability and implementation. We have the laws. Okay, so yesterday when my colleagues were presenting, they said they have laws that is trying to stop everything. But the laws are being put. So has the laws been able to be effective? What have they gotten so far? And sometimes with sustainability, we need to put systems, we need to put structures that even after we end FGM, there should be something in the community that with generation coming, they'll come to meet the system, they'll come to meet the structures. But if you're only targeting this generation, what if this generation is gone? What about the generation coming? What are they coming to meet? Which structures are they coming to meet? So I think when we are with the group session we are going, we should think about structures, we should think about systems, and even the laws that are being made. What is being put to strengthen them? So far, what is happening? Have they been able to get people? And I also think that we need to get a mechanism, reporting mechanism. If the laws are being put and we are not able to get people who are like people who commit the crime, like what are we doing about them? What has the law done about them? If you put the laws and we are not able to get mechanism to get them, we are still doing nothing. So there's always an issue with implementation and sustainability. There should be structures, there should be systems. That if this generation should go, they want to meet the systems and the structures. And with the sustainability, we can even strengthen, like already the government have some institutions that they're already working to end FGM. So with the development institutions, we can come and strengthen those systems that even after the FGM has been stopped, those systems will still continue. There's a system, there's a structure that is put in place. So it's something we should think about, sustainability and implementation. Thank you.
D'accord, merci beaucoup, Rahinatou. Je pense qu'on va faire violence sur nous pour déjà commencer les travaux de groupe. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a des salles, d'autres salles prévues en dehors de celle-là? Oui, Mireille, allez-y.
Si on peut ajouter peut-être 10 à 15 minutes, parce que là, quand on parle des idées, hein, j'ai pris note, il y a 2 personnes qui ont parlé pour bien faciliter les breakout sessions. Notre sœur de Yémen, elle a parlé de la situation de Yémen, qui est une situation humanitaire. Il y a besoin de programmes. Et en l'entendant parler, c'est comme si ils veulent aussi apprendre experience learning pour dans d'autres pays similaires. Donc là, maintenant, on peut créer déjà un groupe, des gens, d'autres qui sont dans le même contexte, qui dans le conflit, pays à conflit, humanitaire, le genre de programmes qui ont déjà été déjà mis en œuvre dans ce pays. Comme ça, ils peuvent échanger. Et là, il y a un groupe qui discute de cela et dans le différents contextes. Quand tu entends parler notre sœur, elle a parlé de system building. Donc, on a un problème de système. Elle a parlé de développement, elle a parlé de loi. Et là, on peut déjà créer un groupe, des gens qui pensent à disrupt the system, changer les systèmes en cours. Et mais qu'est-ce qu'ils font? Quelles sont les lois maintenant? Là, on peut créer un groupe qui parlera que de cela. Et n'oubliez pas, le sujet, c'est FGM, MGF. Mais là, elle a encore parlé de reporting mechanism et tout. Et quand on parle de reporting mechanism, elle a parlé de la criminalisation et tout ça. Ce suivi-là qui se fait au niveau du gouvernement, la société civile ou les institutions nationales. Donc là, c'est aussi encore un autre groupe. Et là, elle a aussi parlé de la mise en œuvre et la sustainability, sustainability en français, la durabilité oui. Donc là, yes.
He's saying that there's a message coming in, so from the interpreter. They said they have a question.
What is the question?
You need to put on your headset so that they hear what you are.
Ah.
Please wear the head, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, but which language should I choose
English.
then?
English.
So basically, so we already have 4 groups. Now,
sorry?
Can you tell her, they want to talk to her. So.
They need to talk to you.
Tell what he wants so I can hear, because I won't be able to hear you.
Okay.
What does he want? What is it?
Yeah.
Of what?
We would just like to remind you that groups are multilingual. That was just a reminder. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, she said that. I think she said that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, okay. So now, what are the other ideas that you have? You know, what are other ideas? So now, once we have the list, and I'm hoping that some people are taking note, we have the list, so we'll know exactly what you guys are talking about. But I'm still shocked that none of you are talking about budgeting. Anyone is talking about girls' agencies, because that is the end. If you really care about FGM, you should be talking about that. No one is talking about your own empowerment as leaders, how you project yourself at 2030. Some of you are leaders of today, but some of you are future ministers, could be future head of state, could decision makers. You are not even projecting yourself at 2030. So I'm also wondering, what are we doing here if you guys don't project yourself? So this is what we want to hear from you, not coming from us. Over.
Okay.
Thank you, Mireille. I just have a question for you before we move to the group work. As we are going to discuss phase 4 of the program, if you could give us like a brief or a presentation for what is your vision, so in order so we can give you our perspective as young people to contribute, and what we need from you and what we need in general to and FGM. So because I think there is some confusion, so people need to know first the presentation of phase 4 of the program, and then we move to the group work, if you can. Thank you.
Yes, please. I think It's not confusion, it's different expectations and requests. I think the most one is just not to say something on the next phase, but at least to present what the next three, what were the outcomes, the main outcomes, maybe some of the outputs as a background information for you. And then you go to the breaking sessions, you take into account the information provided, and you come up with new vision. So let's try to do this. I don't know from the global program who can have a quick recap of the past phase, just as an overview. And so you have this information. You might take it into account, you might not. It depends on your vision you can have. Is it okay for you in that way?
Idrissa, please, can I just point out that we need to include our participants online. There are a few hands raised online from countries that want to comment. So before we have the presentation and the breakout rooms, please let's hear from our participants online, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Sorry, I see the hand of Marie-Justine. Marie-Justine, the floor is yours.
Bonjour. C'est vrai, c'est Marie-Justine. Pour les jeunes de la République centrafricaine qui participent à la table ronde depuis le bureau de UNFPA RCA, donc je vais leur laisser la parole pour...
Mesdames, Messieurs et chers jeunes, bonjour. Je suis du Conseil national de la jeunesse centrafricaine et je suis chargée de programme leurs droits de l'homme et protection de l'enfant. De la RCA, plus précisément les activités à réaliser dans le cadre de mutilation féminin. Je pense que un centre a été créé, financé par l'UNFPA, a été créé dans le principal pour lutter contre les pratiques néfastes. C'est un club de jeunes et hommes et garçons qui font la sensibilisation auprès de nos pères sur la mutilation génitale, pour dénoncer les pratiques néfastes et dénoncer les parents et impliquer les autorités locales et la justice pour lutter contre cela. Nous avons un taux de cas de mariage précoce, le taux est vraiment élevé. En 2000, il y avait une présentation des statistiques 2019 dont le cas est de 20% des filles âgées de moins de 15 ans en 2019. Raison pour laquelle nous demandons, nous plaidoyons que nos pays ne fait pas partie de ce programme conjoint. Si c'est possible que nous ce programme de Centrafrique. Je vous remercie.
Ok, merci beaucoup à nos amis qui sont en ligne. Je crois qu'on va continuer. Oui, allez-y.
On a une deuxième question en ligne.
Une deuxième question en ligne.
Oui, Fatmata Zara. Fatmata, the floor is yours.
Fatmata Zara, vous avez la parole.
Ok, bon. Fatmata.
Fatmata Zara, you have the floor.
Elle arrive. Hein? Votre micro est fermé. Your mic is muted. I'm not sure which language you speak. Please turn on your mic.
Please turn on your mic, Fatmata.
Ok, je pense qu'on peut avancer hein, parce qu'elle a des soucis avec son micro.
Ok. On va prendre deux questions.
Oui, c'est bon?
Oui, c'est bon maintenant. Allez-y.
Bon, maintenant. Voilà. Bonjour à tout le monde. Je m'appelle Fatmata Siaté depuis Dakar. Et, je félicite cette initiative de réunir les jeunes pour et qu'ils puissent se former par rapport à des avancées effectuées concernant le féminin. Voilà. Et j'ai eu
participé à des missions d'abandon MGF, Sénégal, notamment les Kolda, Bakel, où le phénomène quand même était très ancré dans la société. Et on a pu constater que c'est un phénomène quand même qui est ancré et que pour réussir, il faut une approche inclusive. Autant les jeunes filles, les grands-mères même occupaient un processus important dans le phénomène. Parce que des fois, même des enfants étaient amenés à l'insu de leurs parents et que les gens trouvaient toujours des moyens pour contourner. Voilà, et malgré les mesures de pénalisation qui étaient mises en place. Voilà. Et donc, par rapport à ça, je voulais formuler comme proposition qui va c'est de que les jeunes eux-mêmes décident d'être des change makers, trouver les moyens pour vraiment impacter sur l'entreprise jusque-là, et il y en a eu beaucoup d'interventions et que encore ça reste encore un défi. Alors, pourquoi pas ne pas voir de nouvelles approches, notamment en utilisant le digital, beaucoup plus de monde, plus de Allô? Voilà, et donc je suis quand même en phase de ça, de dépasser cette approche d'attendre. Pourquoi ne pas jeunes des actions donc dans ce sens, dans notre communauté, en place, sinon les chercher et vraiment de contribuer plus efficacement, efficient aussi à la lutte contre les violences. Voilà, merci.
Merci beaucoup, Fatoumata.
Oui, je pense, Agnes, please send a message, those online, to share the comments in the chat box, please. And let's try to move, because we can take time for the questions, but this will not address our main issues. So what we propose is exactly what you propose. I don't know if one of our colleagues of the global program can have an overview of the last phase, and then we go to the work. You don't need? So if you don't need this, let me ask you please to, because if we take every question we have, that means we will not go. It's not question. Merci
beaucoup. Donc, moi, c'est Victoria, je suis l'ambassadrice représentante pour la région de l'Afrique du Nord. Alors, c'est juste pour appuyer ce que vous venez de dire. On peut continuer à faire comme ça durant toute la journée, sans pour autant sortir avec quelque chose de concret. Nous savons qu'il y a plusieurs aspects qui touchent les MDR. Il n'y a pas seulement l'aspect loi, il y a beaucoup de lois. Le problème, c'est l'application de ces lois. Donc, on a loi de ce côté, on a l'aspect culturel et religieux, éducation, tout ce qui est les actions qui sont menées. Je pense qu'il y a pas mal d'aspects quand même dans lesquels on peut, comme si on parle de l'aspect culturel. Là, par exemple, dans le groupe de l'aspect culturel, on peut par exemple identifier les actions qui ont été menées dans ce cadre, ce qui a réussi, ce qui n'a pas du tout réussi. Et là, on peut proposer par exemple des nouvelles perspectives.
Oui.
C'est ce que je propose en tout cas.
Et c'est ce que nous proposons aussi. Je vais demander à, je ne sais pas qui est responsable des travaux de groupe, de venir faire la présentation et nous allons aller en travaux de groupe, s'il vous plaît. Yes, as I said, we can still take time for the questions, for the comments, but so what? Let's go to the groups, provide there what you have to do, and we'll take it into account. That's clear. Okay? This is a request. I'm begging you, please, let's go that way. Yes, Agnes. So please try to explain how many groups do we have, because following what Mire said, we should have more groups than we have planned. I don't know exactly what we can keep.
Okay, thank you, Elisa. If I may just present the structure of the group work. Apologies for the slight confusion, because the agenda is a living document. We're discussing with you, the participants, how do you want the program to evolve? So initially it was planned that they will present what has been planned for phase 4, and then you can discuss and see what needs to be changed, what needs to be removed, what needs to be added. But now the feedback that we're getting from you is that you want to share with us your own ideas first, and then after that we can see how we can integrate and adjust the phase 4 accordingly. So on that note, so we don't lose more time, let's just go straight into the breakout groups, and I will share the guidance for the breakout rooms. And then introduce your facilitators for the breakout rooms and share where each breakout room is going to occur. So let me just share my screen for the participants online.
Bonjour tout le monde. Je pense que c'est important que vous, les jeunes, vous compreniez que ce que nous voulons faire, c'est ce que vous voulez faire. Donc, je vais vous dire, il aurait été tellement plus facile de venir vous dire, voilà, ce que nous pensons que. Mais l'idée, c'est de vous laisser réfléchir entre vous. Vous avez de l'expérience, c'est vous qui êtes sur le terrain. C'est vous qui avez peut-être des frustrations sur les choses que vous auriez voulu faire, mais que vous n'avez pas pu faire parce qu'on ne vous a pas demandé votre avis au moment où ces programmes ont été conçus. Maintenant, c'est une opportunité qui vous est offerte. Parce que moi, je vais vous dire, hein, moi, ce à quoi je rêve, c'est que vous sortiez des choses qui vont remettre en question tout ce que les gars du programme conjoint avaient préparé. En tout cas, la réflexion. Et qui se rendent compte que, mince, mais on s'est complètement planté. Et c'est ça le but de ce type de consultation. Ce n'est pas venir vous dire, voilà, on pense que oui, si, et venez, vous allez dire, bon, corrigez cette virgule, faites ceci. Non, le but du jeu, c'est vraiment prendre ce que vraiment, vos rêves les plus fous et essayer de les mettre en œuvre en allant chercher les ressources pour cela. Parce qu'en fait, ce que nous voulons, c'est que vous, les jeunes, vous soyez capables de ce qu'on n'a pas su faire depuis les années 80. Des années 80 à aujourd'hui 2020, en tout cas si je prends le cas du Sénégal, l'excision a presque augmenté. Parce que chez les filles de 0-14 ans, c'est passé à 16%. Donc ça veut dire que nous avons fait des efforts, la question est devenue moins taboue, mais les filles continuent à être excisées. Au mois d'avril, au Sénégal, il y a eu 6 petites filles qui ont été excisées. 6 de 2 à 5 ans, à Dakar, dans la région de Dakar. Donc, ça veut dire qu'il y a un problème. Donc, maintenant, c'est à vous, les jeunes, de faire preuve, d'utiliser votre expérience, votre vécu. Il y a des choses, moi, je ne peux pas le faire, hein, moi, je ne peux pas le sortir, je ne peux pas inventer la roue. Par contre, ce que chacun d'entre vous, vous avez comme expérience, comme vécu, moi, je dis, saisissez cette opportunité pour sortir des choses qui vont permettre à nous autres, les vieux là, de dire, mais on s'est complètement planté. Les jeunes ont compris ce que nous n'avions même pas envisagé. Donc, c'est vraiment ça le but du jeu. Sortez vos tripes. Voilà.
Agnes, just explain the methodology and we'll go to the breaks. Thank you. Merci beaucoup, mes chers collègues. Later, when they come to the plenary, we'll take the floor again. Thank you, Aniso and...
Yes, thank you. Thank you, moderators. I will just quickly go through the structure of the breakout rooms. And then this structure will be shared with you in in handout form in your breakout rooms. So, 1 minute. So these are the guiding questions that we have. Just to reiterate, this is your event and you are taking the lead. So these are just guidance questions to have some form of cohesiveness when we come back to plenary, so that we can consolidate everything together. But you are free to go beyond these questions, add to them, change them. It's just a guidance. So initially, we want to know what you think the next phase of the joint program will look like. As you might be aware, the next phase is 8 years, 2022 to 2030. In those 8 years, what do you think we should focus on? What should be our targets? What should be our goals? What activities have we started in phase 3 that, in your opinion, you think we should do more of in phase 4, or we should drop completely in phase 4 because it's not effective? What are some concrete suggestions that you can make to the FGM joint program leadership that's here today? Concrete suggestions. What do you want to see added? What do you want to see changed? What new programs do you want to see implemented in phase 4? Who should be targeted? Which target groups should we focus on more? What new tools should be capitalized on? You know, there are so many new tools that have evolved in the last few years. Social media tools, other digital tools. Which new tools can we integrate, and how can we evolve with the changing times to make our program more effective? Any suggestion you have for phase 4, this is your time in the group to make those suggestions. And then, so like I said, initially, there was going to be a presentation of the draft phase 4, what's already there. You can skip this step if you want, but also you can also look at it, because currently phase 4 has 7 key goals or results that it's aiming to achieve. And these are the outputs, increasing women's agency, movement building, family and community engagement. So the idea was, where among these proposed phase 4 objectives, where do you think you as young people can make the most impact? But the reason I said you can now skip this part is because the presentation has not been made, so you don't have the details of this. But you can also go ahead and discuss this. So based on the recommendations that you made on what you think should be done, rank those in order of the priorities, right? Which for you is the most important? Which one should have the most resources, the most focus? And then list how you as young people can contribute to making that happen. So rank them, suggest ideas that you think should happen, rank those ideas in order of priority for you, and then propose concrete actions that you as young people can take to achieve those outcomes. Oh, I think I've gone offline now. Sorry. Hold on, I need to share my screen again for the people online. So that's basically the essence of the group work. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm sharing the wrong document. But yes, you get my point, right? So go into the group work, your groups. The groups will be divided by language. So there will be an Arabic room, there will be an English room, and there will be a French room. And this will be both in person. So for the, I think the English room is down here in the plenary. And then the French and Arabic rooms are upstairs. So you just go outside and you go upstairs. The first 2 rooms, you will see the banners for the events. So split into your breakout rooms, and online, we have also asked the Zoom providers to split the online participants into their various language rooms. So you will connect to the room that is speaking your language. If you remember when you registered online, you were asked to indicate your preferred language. So if you put French when you registered, you will be connected to the French breakout room upstairs. If you put English, you will be connected to the English breakout room. And if you put Arabic, you will be connected to the Arabic breakout room. We're really encouraging participants online to be engaged, and for the people in person here to create that space to include the perspectives and opinions of the online participants as well. We would suggest that because we have some big groups, for example, we're expecting about maybe 20 people in the Francophone group and maybe 18 people in the Anglophone group. Once you're in your rooms, and this is up to you, like I said, this is your event, you can take the initiative on how you want to do this, but you can subdivide into maybe smaller groups of 4 or 5, so you can manage the group work better. If you do that, please consolidate before you come back to plenary, because when you come back to plenary, we're not going to have time to give each group of 4 or 5 to present, but we're going to give each language group the opportunity to present. So if, for example, the English language group, you decide to subdivide into 4 or 5 groups or 3 groups, let's say 3 groups, we recommend 3 groups, then before you come back to plenary, consolidate the recommendations of those 3 groups to one presentation for the English group. Do you understand? Is it clear? Yes. So it's totally up to you. We would recommend breaking into your language groups and then subdividing into 3 groups in person at least. And then the online participants also can maybe have their own breakout room, or you can join in person. So that's the idea. We will go around and share some the guiding questions that I just presented on the screen to facilitate the conversation. And the group leads will be facilitated by the Salima ambassadors. So I will just ask them to stand so that you can see who will be facilitating and which breakout room. So if the cameras can just zoom in on the Salima ambassadors so that everybody knows who is facilitating their room. We have received some requests, some countries that wanted to be moved from maybe the Anglophone room to the Francophone room. Please just come up to me and let me know if you have been placed in the wrong language room. Okay, so for the English room, I will be facilitating, helping along with the Salima ambassador, Abimbala from Nigeria. Abimbala, can you give a little wave? So if you're Anglophone, it's Abimbala Palesa and Arunav. Arunav, can you stand up so you can be seen? So you see we have multiple facilitators for each room. So these, myself, Abimbala, Palesa, and Arunav will be facilitating the English rooms. Now, oh my God, I've gone off online again. Whoops, sorry. Okay, can you still hear me online? Can they hear me online? Okay. I'm not sure what's going on with my Zoom. So for the French rooms, the lead facilitator
On vous
will be
entend.
please stand. Anglophone, you can sit down. Basma, Dikel, you can sit. Okay. So for Lydie is the lead facilitator for the Francophone room, and she will be co-facilitating with the Salima ambassadors. Dikel, I'll put you in the French room. Is that okay? Okay, good. Please stay standing so they can see you. Sada, Sukaina. So these are your facilitators for the French rooms, okay? It's Sada from Mauritania, Salima ambassador, Dikel, no, sorry, Chad. Sada from Chad, my apologies. Dikel from Mauritania, and then the UNICEF and UNFPA technical focal points, Lydie and Sukaina. And then for the Arabic rooms, thank you very much. If you're here in person or online, your lead facilitator is Shadia. Shadia, please stand so you can be seen. Can the cameras show Shadia? I'm not sure. Shadia is the lead facilitator. She's from UNFPA Arab States. And she will be co-facilitating with Basma. Wait, Basma, are you Anglophone or Arab? Okay, which one? Which one? Okay, so can you help Shadia in the Arabic room? Okay, great. So Basma, please stay standing, Shadia and Basma. For the Arabic room, I think we only have about 6 participants in person. So we're fine with 2 facilitators. So Shadia and Basma will be facilitating the Arabic room. So please remember who your facilitators are and the outline. And if you're Arabic and French, you go upstairs. You will see the first 2 rooms. You will see the banner for the banners for the event. The French room you will know because it's the French banner that's hanging there. So if you're Francophone and you go into the room and you see an English banner, then that's probably the Arabic room. Where you see the French banner is where the Francophone room is meeting. So we have 1 hour. Please use the time wisely. Please leave time at the end to consolidate before we come back to plenary. Okay? Okay? Great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Anyone else in this room?
I hope we can do this in 30 minutes and we go for our lunch. I don't see any other person from the other side in the same room. Oh, I see Natasha. Hi, Natasha. Hello, Harriet. Hello, Harriet. Hello, Harriet. Hello, Harriet.
Hello.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a breakout session, and I hope we have shared our views. Probably in this session, we broke out earlier than the team there, and they are breaking out for 1 hour, but for us, we've almost done everything we needed just to concretize our actions. Probably my recommendation could be, do we do a quick presentation by each region or district? Mhm. Okay. Harriet, are you on in your break room session? We are here in Valley Resort, Uganda. We want to share our ideas. Are you hearing us?
Hello, colleagues. Hello. Hello, Shiba.
Our work. Yes. I think for us, we don't have a lot of work. Okay, can we probably, in our groups, please, group leaders, get your pens, and we answer all these questions in just 30 minutes. Those are the questions. We have answered only, in your opinion, what should be the next phase of UNFPA look like? How should it look like in our opinion? We can do that in our groups. Quickly, a quick one. How do you want it to look like? Yes. 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 That is better.
Consolidate from the different districts.
Yes.
For things that were similar, definitely I couldn't replicate.
Yes.
One of the things that young people are proposing is building youth networks and movements to champion the elimination of FGM. The other issue was on youth economic empowerment and social protection programs, including supporting survivors and those at risk of FGM. So they proposed resettlement and rehabilitation. The other issue was on youth-led engagements with policy and technical leaders at all levels to hold them accountable to eliminate FGM, including commemorations and celebrations of youth days. The fourth point is on advocacy for inclusive policies for youth. The fifth one is building evidence and data collection to inform programming. The sixth one is support young people to adopt the alternative rites of passage. And then lastly, it was mass media campaign to end FGM, including a toll-free line for reporting FGM. Those are the answers that I got for the first question. Yeah.
Can I ask? Colleagues, can you hear me? Hello?
Okay. Are we in agreement with what she has consolidated? Or there are things missing? Here they are saying there are a few things missing.
Recording in progress.
Is someone online trying to get to us? And I think is a Ugandan participant, Mr. Facilitator.
Yes, that person online, please. You have the opportunity.
Thank you so much. I was just asking the person who has presented, who has made a submission on the alternative rites of passage. What is it that the young people should adapt to? Because when we leave it like that, it's broad. It remains broad. So what exactly are we looking at?
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. The question was, if it is just alternative rites of passage, it is vague. What exactly do you want as young people? You know, if we say ART, it is a fat animal. Okay?
I think the point came from Sebei.
From Sebei, what exactly? So should I bring the mic there? Okay, the curriculum of alternative rites of passage is okay, but we want to know exactly. Break it down.
Okay, when we talk about ARP, alternative rites of passage, we mean that while people look at FGM as their culture and they feel that the culture has been taken away from them, people should be sensitized to understand that we are only discarding the cutting practice, but we are maintaining other activities that were carried on, that were good, like maintaining virginity, doing the house core work. So many other things should be maintained. That's So we are changing. Alternative means we are causing a new passage of right. FGM was treated as a passage of right for girls to move from girlhood to womanhood. So when we are changing the alternative, we are saying you can be a woman through education, through other things, through many other activities, but not only the cutting. So there are many things embedded in alternative rites of passage.
You know, there was a question here that there were other, apart from the actual cutting, there were certain processes that happened. It involved dancing, drinking, eating, and all those ones still, dancing and drinking, eating, socializing was also derogatory in nature. You know, when people are drunk, they speak very bad things. Now there were things, I want you to capture this. Alternative rites of passage started all the way from Tanzania, especially among the Maasai. The Maasai chose another path that they can celebrate when a young girl graduates successfully. They can celebrate when a woman has matured and she's getting married. They can celebrate when she gives birth to a child. But those other socialization processes of teaching them how to be responsible for themselves, to learn hard work, to learn arts and crafts, to learn how to contribute to household income should be maintained. Food preservation, keeping a home better, but of course, all those. Some of the roles prescribed for women would still undermine their status and the rights of women. So probably we need to think of, you know, if you just say discard your culture, people say it was our way of life. We taught our girls how to behave, they were taught how to sit properly, they were taught not to climb trees. They should not allow boys to, you know, when they climb trees and the boys are down, the boys look at their open dresses. You know, all those, where those are what we call the alternatives. Okay? And then, you know, that celebration was done, and immediately after the cut, they would allow the girl to heal for some period of time. Then they now initiate them. My daughter, you've now matured. The world is not an easy place to be. You need to go and work hard, be responsible in your household, run away from promiscuity. All those ones. All those ones. What else? I think we've broken it down. Yes. What else, ladies and gentlemen? If there is nothing, then we go to the second question. Isn't it? Yes, yes, there is a hand here.
Thank you. I just want to comment on the points raised around choosing the alternative rite of passage for FGM. We said we maintain drinking, we can maintain celebrations, but in a community like Karamoja where we are discouraging drinking, I don't think that is something we would wish to maintain, because it is already having an impact on the communities there. People are drinking as early as 6. So for us, we would not want to maintain such celebrations of drinking. Maybe dancing is okay. Dancing is okay because there is value in that. And you know, when we encourage celebrations, also it encourages misuse of food, because there are shortages of food in certain seasons. People will overdrink and celebrate and forget to keep for tomorrow. So I think let's choose the right word for the alternative passage. What are those core activities that we want to maintain in the different locations where FGM is practiced in Uganda? Like I have already noticed, drinking for us, celebration is not something that will continue wasting food, because more alcohol and breweries will be made, then, you know, as you drink also, you are encouraging more dirty things. Yeah? You'll now get more young girls to sleep with. There are a lot of things which I don't want to mention here. Let's select our words for the alternative rite of passage.
Thank you. We have said we are discarding what predisposes communities to more risks, but celebrate the good parts. Hmm? Let's not dwell a lot there. The time is very short, ladies and gentlemen.
In 1 minute or so, I would say when you decide the alternative rite of passage, it will depend on each area. Like in Karamoja, they would have called other activities. Like for us, during those celebrations, there was free sex. But now HIV is there and many other STIs. We cannot encourage.
Qu'on peut se rapprocher, s'il vous plaît?
You must be very
Team French.
you are keeping.
On peut se rapprocher, comme ça on va... Non, par là-bas, comme là-bas est beaucoup plus condensé. Vous pouvez vous déplacer un peu? Oui.
Recording stopped.
Okay. Now, for us, the rest of the questions are not very technical. Are there any outcomes you want to see in phase 4 that were not in phase 3? Yes, which ones are those? Harriet, can you take us through what was in phase 3 outcomes? Are you hearing us, Harriet?
La révision, vulgarisation et l'application des textes de loi portant sur la MGS. Implication des jeunes dans la mise en œuvre de la 4e phase du programme de la lutte contre la MGS. Utiliser les filles comme acteurs de changement, formation, sensibilisation et dénonciation. Si vous pouvez résumer tout ce qui concerne par exemple l'éducation d'enfants, parce que tout à l'heure vous avez parlé de formation et ailleurs aussi vous avez parlé de ce qui est organisation de rencontres de plaidoyer et formation des filles comme, qui vont être utilisées comme des acteurs de changement. Ah, vous n'avez pas terminé?
Kindly please translation. Your battery is also giving way.
Moi, je voudrais proposer l'implication des étudiants et par
We need to Yes, let's proceed. Can we proceed? Ask the questions.
En fait, on est en train de faire éventuelles pour toutes les personnes. Donc, les personnes vont comment énumérer. Ensuite, nous allons par exemple choisir les priorités. Les thèmes qu'on dit être priorité et puis après, on va les dispatcher par C'est bon?
It's something men use as a tool to control the women. So, engagement of men and boys is critical. Are we together there?
Moi, je vais parler de
We also saw you had started
qui est la médicalisation de la chair. Parce que c'est un truc qu'on ne parle pas souvent, mais qui est très très fréquent. Dans le pays, sentir mieux, les gens pensent qu'ils veulent aller à l'hôpital pour circonciter leurs enfants, mais pour justifier leurs actes, en fait. C'est pour ça que ça devient de plus en plus fréquent. Et aussi, comme on avait parlé de transfrontalisation, souvent en France, on des gens qui n'ont pas de droit.
You get a shirt made in China with 9 X's, but you can't even see. So, you need to see them as already enough down and also having opportunities. I saw those are very critical. Of course, what other activities in phase 4? Phase 3 do we think can be pushed on? Evidence-based. Go to the questions.
C'est bon? Donc, Sada va nous énumérer ce qu'on a choisi. Ensuite, avant qu'on ait, je pense qu'on est
Actually, a country like Bangladesh has 0 FGM, and yet they are practicing FGM. Yes. So, how do we capture that one?
Good afternoon. Here, they are talking about outcomes. An outcome is more like a long-term goal. So we shouldn't state it like we are stating activities.
Hello, colleague.
There's immediate action that you are supposed to do to achieve the long-term goal. So the few outcomes I have here, they had set for the last phase. One of them was that by 2025, remember we are in 2021, Uganda has inclusive and accountable governance systems, and people are empowered, engaged, and enjoy human rights, peace, justice, and security.
That one is a good outcome.
That is one of the outcomes. Under that outcome, we have been doing several activities, and one of them was about training VCDOs on the different manuals, including the GBV manual. There is an FGM response manual. When you receive a survivor, how do you attend to that survivor? Skilling the health workers, how do you counsel survivor? So that is about strengthening the system. The system is a setup that is put in place either by government to address challenges that citizens are going through. So government is a system, culture is a system, and so many other things are systems. So this project is focused on ensuring that Uganda has an inclusive and accountable governance system. When you go to the chief to report a case, can you be supported to ensure that your case reaches the police station? Can he follow up to ensure that a survivor is getting justice? So that is the governance system we are talking about. When we talk about governance, we don't only mean the president. We even mean you as a citizen. How are you supporting to ensure that the rightful leaders who will do the right policies, like the FGM policy defense case, are put in place? Who will do youth inclusive policies once you elect them into power? So that is an outcome that the project is looking out. And if we want to keep that, we can still encourage, but let's push it forward. Like in our earlier discussions, we've been saying we need to address systems. Because you go to the TCDO's office and you think you are not supported, it means there is a problem with the system. You go to the police, you have a survivor who has been cut, and they are asking you for money to go and arrest the perpetrator. It means there is a problem with the system. So we need to get these things right, because the project by 2025 wants to see that Uganda has an inclusive. Inclusive means it is for everybody. Police is for everybody. If I go to report a case, they shouldn't look at my status or my age, because police is for all Ugandans to keep law and order. So that means if anybody can go to the police and is supported, then we have a strong governance system. We can all be at peace and we can be in a stable country. The other outcome they are looking at is that by 2025, people, especially the vulnerable and marginalized, have equitable access to and utilization of quality basic social and protection services. Okay? Social protection is you going to the health facility and you are given the first aid that you need as a survivor. You are sheltered, you are accommodated, and you are well taken care of. Social protection is about the programs we've been discussing here with the Madam DCDOs, that youth are not accessing government funds. That is part of social protection because it gives us access as young people to opportunities. So we can still engage and design activities where we ensure that young people are benefiting from social services, but also the social protection services that are in place. Social services also include education. We've had here that has a challenge. The schools are 30 kilometers away from every village. It means that many girls will not be able to attend school, or they'll be hijacked on the way, get raped, or even forced to be circumcised because there is no security between home and school. Okay? Then lastly, they are looking at gender equality and human rights, okay, of people in Uganda, and this should be promoted, protected, and fulfilled. We have the Constitution of Uganda that gives us rights, okay? If you don't have that Constitution, just go online, for those of you that have, I think chapter 4, is the chapter that has the fundamental human rights, and know your rights. You have the right to access social services. You have the right to access education. You have the right to access health. And it is the mandate of the government of Uganda to provide those services.
They are not doing you a favor by sending you to a UPE school. It is what they are supposed to do. So when you stand here and you say in our sub-county we don't have a school, you are actually demanding for accountability and for your rights, and you are very right. You are supposed to access those social services and social safety programs like the YLP. It is your right, because it is the mandate of the government to promote, protect, and ensure your rights are fulfilled. So those are the outcomes that the project is looking at. And as we design these activities that we've been talking about, we're ensuring that we are strengthening the governance system, we're ensuring that the marginalized people have equitable access to services. I shouldn't go to a health facility because I'm dressed in rags and I'm told to stand there. And the person who's very smart gets the service before I do. Even when I'm vulnerable and poor, I have the right to access the services. And then lastly, as the Ugandan government is responsible for our security. It is responsible to ensure that my rights are protected. I have a right to life, and no one has a right to take it away from me. So government will deploy police in my village to protect me. They are not doing me a favor. It is a right that is given to me by the Constitution of Uganda. Are we together? So in all those things I have read, is there something that is missing out that you think should be added? Is there something that you think should be pulled out, or they should maintain all the outcomes? Thank you.
The CEO here says we should maintain those outcomes till appeal to the next level.
You can go to the next question then. I'll just type them there.
We answered questions 3.
No, we've not talked about activities, we've been talking about outcomes.
We had talked of activities that should be prioritized more in phase 4. You had economic empowerment of women and girls is very critical. Then skilling, then more empowerment of men and boys, then evidence-based data collection, then probably somebody has spoken about implementation and sharing across the globe. But there is an activity I heard a Nigerian lady say yesterday, and it is what works successfully in Bangladesh. And
Situation humanitaire.
Okay. Where we signed agreements with parents. If they married off their
Le Mali n'est pas intéressé. D'accord, RCA.
So every time we come back, your daughter is safe, she's here.
Hein?
So probably we need also levels of...
Bon, vous êtes du Mali, non? Bon, restez avec elle. Vous serez dans une situation humanitaire et votre collègue, elle va de l'autre côté. Hein? Une question. Ensuite, il y a service aux survivants, prévention, autonomisation économique, psychosociale, réalisation. Après, il y a l'éducation, formation, qui prend en compte l'implication des jeunes, des filles comme acteurs de changement.
I don't know how do we bring this point where we have after the leaders where we have also got the challenges in mitigate FGM.
L'implication des jeunes et des filles comme acteurs. Et enfin, communication, plaidoyer, innovation, inclusion des personnes en situation de handicap, implication des survivants, éthique et données. Moi, je vais être le timekeeper. Il est à 11h15, on se retrouve en plénière. Donc, vous faites un bon brainstorming, sortez les idées, on va, si vous pouvez écouter, tant mieux, et ça va faciliter la tâche.
The political leaders need to do anything. I think, how do we bring them on board to open up? Thank you.
Yes, Shiva, that's a very valid point. Our politicians are very brilliant. When it comes to speaking openly against FGM, they go underground for fear of losing votes in those areas. So probably we should bring out an engagement to ensure that leaders make commitments and pronouncements denouncing the practice of FGM. That's very common in Sabay. If you challenge in one of the most famous sub-counties, that is Kaptanya, the former LC3 chairman was actually a promoter of FGM. Seriously, by the way. And he has contributed to so many women being cut. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. And we can't catch him because he's very slippery. Where do we hold these leaders accountable? We need an activity that deliberately and on camera and through the radio program that we've been doing, community radios where people are acting in the community but the message is being relayed. These politicians make pronouncements because they hold a lot of power. They are very powerful. Yes, Madam Evelyn.
The reoccurrence, January. We saw it reoccurring, and when we wanted to find out what could have resurrected the issue, it was about stigma, insults. I don't know how we can manage again. You know, we left out the people who were actually cut, are the people also behind the power of reoccurrence. So I don't know, we needed some, is it an activity? The psychosocial management. I think they are stigmatized, and how do we manage that stigma? Let them take it that it has happened, and it shouldn't be passed to other people, because they have a revenge heart. They want other women to go through the same pain, such that they can be alike. I know of a woman who had a co-wife, and she pleaded and told the co-wife, can we go for it? You know, if you go for it, you will have participation, you will have this. But at the end, when the co-wife went for it, she said, we are now alike. Is that a good heart? So women are also behind it so much.
Yes? Yes. And let's move quickly.
From our perception, we may look at this as a revenge. We want others to have the same problems like we had. But for me, I look at it like it is ignorance, and they need mindset change and attitude. Sometimes we do things, we might perceive it that somebody knows, but they don't know. So I think the broader program again on FGM is mindset change. Mindset change, now we look back to the dialogues we talked about. We look to the round table discussions like this one, having those networks. I think that one will cause mindset change. And whatever perception, whatever will be clear, we shall be knowing now the reasons why people do this. So I look at it in terms of mindset change. We need to do a lot of it. And this is a belief that is stuck in our minds. This is a thinking that is stuck in our minds. So we want our grandchildren and everybody to go through it. So it's not very easy to pluck it out of people's minds. It takes an effort. So the effort is not a one-day effort. You see, we are here talking about FGM, but count back, how many years have we been talking about FGM? So it needs a mindset change. We need to invest more in mindset change related programs like this one. Of course, mindset change, once your mind is changed, even the heart will change and everything will be converted. You will become an ambassador.
Away from that, let's see phase 4. And those are now, and those are also strategies. Have you seen mindset change is a strategy? Yes. Focusing on men and boys is a strategy. Building evidence, are you getting me, is a strategy. Supporting young people's movements is a strategy. You know, English is very interesting here. We are in number 4. No, number 4, what strategies, concrete actions do you recommend? And then, of course, taking the campaign away from the hotels to the hotspot areas is a strategy. Let's take the campaign, let's not bring them from the village. Let's go to where they are. Sometimes we are very comfortable to be in a good hotel in Nuaza. And yet those who practice this are saying other people are eating from us. So let's continue with our culture. Yes, that is another strategy, doing the mapping of hotspot areas. Great. Number 5, which target group should be prioritized in phase 4? Young people, survivors, the leaders, religious leaders, these men and boys. And you need to, there are people in the community who are so influential, but are not even educated. And we don't target them normally. Let's look for those gatekeepers. There are gatekeepers in the community who are promoting FGM. If they say something, people go on fire. They even have charms they give to our girls, and our girls run mad. Yes, I'm telling you. In Africa, Africans are not easy people. Then they're asking us the new and emerging tools that we can capitalize on more in phase 4, social media. Which other tools? The gurus of social media, for us, we are now running away from social media. You know, Facebook, the advent of tax has closed Facebook. They want us to see the emerging tools. Okay, in the world of media, there are emerging things like TikTok is also coming in to compete with YouTube. And I see people capturing information very, very fast. Which other platforms? Instagram, Twitter. Which other one is there? Even smartphones are in the rural areas nowadays.
It's good that we can focus on social media, and that would be really good for people like me and you, at least who have gotten these small phones. But now, when you look at the concept of FGM, and you just told us that there are those gatekeepers who are not learned, they will let us down. The social media won't work for them. For me, I think, so the tools, I may not propose the tools, but I want to get back to your discussion. I'm in agreement where you say that let's take these hotel meetings to that hotspot area. We can use a pictorial. Yes. Pictorial interpretation of the Sabine, the Karimojong, the Baganda, and so on. But don't give me a picture of Sabine. The Karamojong may not interpret it. You see? So I think those are some of the things we have to get into reality. You see now, we are online. Theater, dance, drama, those are the things, yes. Those are the songs, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Now, yesterday when I got this invitation, a small portion was, kindly come with somebody who speaks English. So you see, we are talking about a very sensitive topic and leaving out the persons. Eh? So you see social media, if you don't know the little English I'm speaking here, you can't type anything on WhatsApp and share with a friend. But when we get back to the ground, as you said, we shall tap to the right button and address the problem.
Actually, we are also thinking of caravans. You need caravans to the community. You know, when young people dance, you see people interested in coming closer. Marathons. Actually, let's use also sports. In Pokot, in Kenya, they have a very powerful athlete who retired. She's called Tekla Lorupe. She has really influenced the decisions of. So we can also use our sporting icons, Kiprotich, the Kipchegeis, and use them in our events to tell them that no, there are better things we can do that bring money. These days, if your daughter is not educated, they cannot even give you a cat as a gift. But educated boys are not going for them. So they will end up with their. So when you see, great. Then any other suggestions you have for phase 4? We have suggestions for phase 4. And this one, I've been looking at it programmatically. When it comes to programming, as an implementer, you suggest it. They should actually be thinking of probably if it's not possible, let them give you 6 programs. Let it be half year. You know, the money comes late in the middle of a quarter. They want you to run like a headless chicken.
Then when we do that,
Sometimes,
then we set up the regional
even if you wanted to
support
give
our
communities
local
opportunities
we will take
freely,
the government.
that opportunity is not there.
Well,
Can they treat it as a long-term investment? Where they can invest their funding into quarterly funding. They can have an annual target or a half-yearly target. And then two, of course, timely disbursement of resources.
And then we go for after the law.
I want us to also implement the project. How do you see the monitoring those guidelines in phase 3? It was very challenging. For me, it was too much. Yeah, you don't support a partner to work. Yeah, so those are small things that people don't know. You know, every time a Prado comes, written CD, probably they should be coming for kama bwana yako nakuja kwa jikoni saa yote, hata kama uko mwanamke mpaka utafanya makosa, sio? All the time. Sometimes it's poison. You're supposed to wait for things. You know, there is a lot of smoke in the kitchen. She may want to blow her nose accidentally, and it goes back to the source. Yes, of course, but if I'm often there, it destabilizes people. You know, for me, I have a different perception. If I'm
We would have
overstimulated,
helped
then I
ourselves if you are in one
I
class. Sorry,
okay. But from a programmatic point of view, definitely when you
what you
have
are
a
saying,
visit
please.
of
We need
the
to hear
kind,
what you are.
but
Let's
that is what I
hear
can say.
Then let's hear from
What else
let's hear
do
from
you
Yes,
think?
yeah. No,
Go on,
please,
go on, go on,
please,
go
you
on.
have not
There's they are coaching and mentoring exposures, cross-country exposures. These guys are very selfish. We need cross-community and for people to share experiences. You know, if you leave your country and learn something elsewhere, you come back changed. Cross-community and cross-country
Thank you.
exchange learning visits should be part of Facebook. Those guys from Yemen should come here and learn.
But
From
the thing is,
Uganda.
we haven't even decided on where
And we also go, you know, a prophet is not liked in
I'm in agreement. I'm in
go if
agreement
you
with
went
that.
there and
But
spoke
something because
something good
as
can
he's
come
writing here,
from that prophet.
he's also writing here. So do you agree that effective laws and policies come after family and community engagement? Okay. The
Yes,
reason why
especially
I'll give you the reason why I
actually
said
they
so
should
that
focus,
and
you know,
everyone
those social events should
effective
be
laws
used
and policies. I'll give you
Are you
my
getting me?
perspective and why it can
In
for
preparation,
you
in
to have
implementation,
effective
that
laws
would be
and policies.
equipping knowledge
You
and
need to
skills,
engage
and
the
then
community.
Yeah, of course.
You need to know what the
setting up
issues
state
are. You
government
need to know how to
institutions
agency.
monitoring
And that's what we take about.
Non, non, on laisse parler d'abord, en priorité, ceux qui sont en ligne. Merci beaucoup. Donc, ici, l'équipe de Djibouti. On vous reçoit. D'accord. Donc, nous, on pensait, par exemple, vous faites un intérêt pour remonter nos idées sur les quatre groupes de travail. En termes de communication, peut-être essayer de mettre en place une stratégie pour la communication pour les changements de comportement, pour l'expérience à moins de
You know, when we are sitting and typing,
troisièmement, en termes humanitaires, essayez déjà de mettre en place un manuel peut-être, un manuel commun, tout ce qui est formation de personnes en situation humanitaire. Et le quatrième, c'était, ça c'est le mot qui vous vous rappeler. Voilà, et alors, d'accord. Donc, en termes de service, c'est là de mettre en place des services soit d'ordre psychologique ou en termes de prise en charge des jeunes. Les jeunes filles qui ont été exposées sont des militaires, souvent à l'hôpital, ils sont soignés, sans prise en charge par les services de prise en charge normale, mais il n'y a aucun suivi psychologique qui se fait. En termes de on a beaucoup de mal à faire des adaptations, essayer d'apprendre d'intégrer dans le formation pour nos jeunes comment
Understand each other. I was just going to para mesmo nós, imagina, vamos criar uma lei. Antes de nós criar uma lei, a lei que nós estamos a criar
I can also pray. Pastor is busy. Father, in the
Okay,
name of
what we're
Jesus,
saying
we
is that
want
we
to
are
give you
assuming
glory.
that this is the
For the
creation
fine
of the Lord as
broadcast,
we starting from here, but it is not, it's
the
not starting
food
from
we are
here.
going
They
to
were
take.
already live. It's not listening.
In Jesus'
So
name,
this is like, okay, let's say, okay, she's the facilitator.
Thank you very much. You prepare a very nice breakfast for us in the afternoon. We are going to eat.
Quand l'argent finit, elles vont regarder leur petit parce qu'elles savent qu'à chaque fois, les gens viendront les l'argent. Mais il faut les avoir inquiétés, il faut les donner quelque chose qui va les faire. Vraiment,